Hello and welcome to the next video in this Simulink series. In the last video, we had started with the project Automotive Performance Modes, and to just give you a recap, we have a block called as sensor data, which is a signal block, which is giving us the data of a car's speed and its lateral acceleration. And we have obtained the absolute value of the lateral acceleration by using this block, absolute block, which will convert any negative value to positive value, so we'll get the absolute value. Apart from that, we have also created a condition wherein we can check whether speed is greater than or equal to 35 and whether lateral acceleration is greater than or equal to 3, and we have connected this to an AND block. We have also used one more block which is greater than equal to 100 speed. Okay, now the next task is we have to add a second logical operator block to the model, and we have to complete this particular statement. That is, if speed is greater than equal to 100 km per hour or speed is greater than equal to 35 km per hour and absolute value of lateral acceleration is greater than 3 meter per second square. So the second part of it, that is speed greater than 35 km per hour and absolute lateral acceleration greater than 3 meters square, we have already done. So this particular AND block is doing that job. Okay, so any speed greater than equal to 35 and acceleration greater than equal to 3, this AND condition is already applied here. Now we have to apply one more condition, that is the OR condition. So how we will do that? To do that, I will use another logical block. By double clicking here, I'll type logical operator, and after getting the logical operator in the canvas, I will change its type from AND to OR, right? I can change its type from AND to OR. So here I can change its type. I'll change it to OR. I'll say OK. Once it is done, then I will connect the blocks in order to complete the requirement as shown here. Okay. So as you can see, it has changed to OR. So what do we want? We want the output of the speed greater than equal to 100 km per hour. This block output to be connected here. So that will be connected here, and the output of this AND block will also be connected there, right? And then the final output will be connected to the signal assessment block. This will complete our entire logic. Okay, so it will take some time. So let's wait for a while. Alright, so I have connected the output of the greater than equal to 100 block. Now I have connecting the AND output also to the OR block. So this will complete my entire logic, which is speed greater than equal to 100 km per hour or speed greater than equal to 35 and acceleration greater than 3. Okay, so this completes my logic. Now the final output I am going to connect to this signal assessment block just to observe whether our simulation is correct or not, and then I should press the submit button. Alright, so this completes our task 4. I hope you have understood the task. So here we are using the data of a car, speed and acceleration. The sensor data is acquired, brought into MATLAB, and now we are applying certain logic to it, okay, to check what kind of mode we have. So this much simulation we are done with. Okay, so now the simulation is run and it is correct. Okay, so we got a green line here, a green tick, that is correct. So let us move on to the next task. Now the final step is to add the logical statement which is replicated here. So you can see the final step is one more step, that we have to apply a use mode 1 or 2. Okay, ultimately we have to decide the mode 1 or mode 2. So the final step is logically given here. If speed is greater than equal to 100 km per hour or if speed is greater than equal to 35 and acceleration greater than 3, then we should use mode 2, else we should use mode 1. Okay, so for this what we should do? For this, in the last video I have last video I have explained you the switch block. That switch block can take the decisions based on the input, right? So we will use that switch block to take the final decision. How will you get the switch block? So as usual, you have to double click in the canvas and type the switch. So you'll get the switch first Simulink signal routing. Okay, you got this switch block. Now what do we want to achieve out of this switch block? That we want that the mode should be 2, uh, the output, the mode should be 2 if our condition is correct, otherwise the mode should be 1, right? So if you remember that in switch block the control signal is the central signal. That means the central signal which is given in the switch block, this one which is shown here as greater than 0, this is the main control signal. So the output of our logical signal should be connected to this point, to this switch block. Okay, output of whatever we have got, this should be connected here, right? If if our output is 1, then we should get mode 2. Okay, if our output is 1, then we should get mode 2, right? And if our output is not 1, then we should get mode 1. So we'll add 2 constant blocks for this purpose. Okay, so again I'll double click here, I'll type constant. This will give me the constant Simulink block. Okay, so for one block I'll add 1, and I'll add the same kind of constant block. Okay, I'll just drag and drop. So I want the mode 2 or 1, so I'll make it as 2, and the other one is already 1. Now what we want is control signal. We have to add the 2 constant blocks with value and 1 and 2, which represent the driving modes, and connect the blocks to the appropriate locations on the switch block. So where should I connect them? Okay, so I should connect this here, because if my OR signal is greater than 0, that means if my condition which I have defined is correct, then I should get mode 2. So I have connected it at the top signal. Okay, and here I am connecting the second signal. So how the switch block works, if the output of this OR block is greater than 0 or it is 1, then my top output will go, my output will be the top value, that is this value. If the OR output is less than 0, then my output will be 1, that means the lower value. Okay, so this is how switch block works. And finally, just to complete the simulation, I will be connecting the output of this entire thing to the signal assessment block. All right, so I have connected to the signal assessment block, right? So this completes our entire logic, and now our signal will show proper mode based on the data which is given. Now the data which is given is speed and acceleration data. So depending on the values of speed and acceleration at a particular time, because the data is with respect to time, so at a particular time the speed will be something, acceleration will be something. So based on the inputs of speed and acceleration, we'll get the output graph. Okay, so sometimes it will give me mode 1, sometimes it will give me mode 2. So let us see the output of this. Let us submit this to complete the task. So it will take some time, which will compile the model. Okay, it will generate all the signals, etc., and then it will run the model. So as you can see here, we have got t is equal to 10.0. That means we have asked it to run for 10 seconds. So now it has run for 10 seconds. Okay, this is already shown here, 10 seconds stop time, and now we should expect the output signal. Okay, we also got the green tick. Green tick means our answer is correct, but we are yet to see the output. So let me bring the output signal here. Yes, so now we got the output signal also. You can see that from 0 second to roughly 1 second, the mode was 1. Mode was 1 means what? That the speed and acceleration were not as per the logic which we have, and the mode was 2 whenever we had this logic. Speed was greater than 100, or the speed was greater than 35 and acceleration was greater than 3, then mode 2. So you can see the model is properly giving us different modes, mode 1, mode 2, and it is properly switching, right? So this is how you can do the automotive mode analysis simple project we have tried in Simulink, right? So you can understand that the Simulink is such a powerful tool and such a simple tool, right? It's such a simple tool that using this kind of a tool, you can do such complex calculations without writing a single line of code. So all this and or operations we have done using block, and even final decision we have taken using a switch, and ultimately we get a signal output which we have plotted. Now this output can be also used further for doing further modifications in the project, right? I hope you have understood this, right? So this completes our project, which is automotive performance mode, right? So we have successfully modeled the logic for choosing a driving mode based on speed and acceleration data. To verify that this is performing as you expect, we can add a scope block. So instead of this signal assessment block which is given by Simulink OnRAM for their purpose, we can also add a scope block and we'll get the similar graph there. Okay, so we can use the scope to view three signals in the same window. We can see speed, acceleration and the mode choice, right? So let us try that. So I'll double click in this, I'll type scope. Okay, so this will give me scope. Now I want to see three signals together. So I want to see speed, I want to see acceleration, I want to see mode. So how to do that? So I can go to the layout menu in the scope toolbar and then I can do that. Okay, so this is possible. We have done similar thing earlier also, so you can try this on your own as well. So you can connect the you can make these three inputs in the scope. Select number of inputs as 3, connect the input speed acceleration directly and connect the output of that to the mode signal, and then you can see the output in the scope block. All right, so I hope that you have understood this much, and please do practice, because ultimately you'll have to practice on your own to understand the Simulink better. And it is really exciting, and it's a fun thing when you actually simulate small models and they run properly, get the results. So that's a real kind of achievement sense you'll be getting. All right, so thank you for listening carefully to this lecture. We'll meet again in the next video. Thank you so much.